Welcome back to Walsall Fan TV. The Joy and the Pain podcast is also live on the TalkSport network. Good to have you with us. Saturday, we head to Tranmere. So let's talk to Ethan, shall we? Ethan, welcome back on the channel.
Hello. It's great to be back. It's great to see your face again.
Oh, again. And you've got more of a beard than we saw last time, I think.
I need a shave.
Looking very smart, mate. Looking very smart. Tranmere, not had the best season, really, have you? How was your thoughts on Tranmere at the minute?
Okay, so wasn't the start that we wanted, obviously, with the indoors. That really didn't go to plan. He was appointed because he won about 5 games in 2020. But yeah, that it seems like he forgot how to win games, so that didn't work out. Then we had Nigel Atkins already at the club as a director of football, but because he's obviously got a great track record as a manager, taking Southampton to the Premier League and all that sort of stuff, it's a no-brainer really for us to appoint him as our manager. So he was appointed manager. You could see what he was sort of doing. He was working, the teams seemed to gel a bit more together. And then we went on a great run around Christmas time, but then it's all been a bit mixed since and not too great at the moment. Just sort of waiting for the season to end and to get in.
The thing is, last time I sort of paid attention to Tranmere, they were sort of looked like they were on the march.
Yeah.
On the march up the league.
It was.
And you've had some good results. Wrexham and Mansfield beating both of them.
Yes, well, we beat all the top 3. So we beat Stockport 4-0 at home. We beat Mansfield 2-1. I think it was 2-1, yes, in a Tuesday night game. And then we went to Wrexham on that Saturday, a few days after the Mansfield game, and beat Wrexham too. So that's 3 of the top 3 done. But after the Wrexham game, you're sort of looking for that to be carried on. And we lost against Crawley. We lost at Bradford, which was a terrible performance. And then we drew at home to Colchester most recently, and that was again. I didn't go to that one. I went to the Bradford game, but yeah, from what I heard, we're just sort of waiting for the season to end. No one is that excited to go that down anymore. It's just like a bit of a boring period.
I know what you mean. Colchester are absolutely scrapping, aren't they? Because they're going to do well to stay up, aren't they? Colchester.
They are. Well, I was looking into it, and apparently, under the Cowleys, they've only lost 2 of the 13 games, but before them, they lost 8 of the 13 games, and they always draw one. There seems to be a lot of games.
Draw specialists now.
They are, yeah. Anyway. Apparently, they could have beat us, going from what I've heard from their fans. I didn't go to the games, like I said, but we might have done well to just get a point at home to Colchester, so it's not too great to be a Tranmere fan this season.
Yeah, when we played Colchester, we got 1 goal up fairly early on, and then they pulled one back late on to get a draw. It looked like they'd stay up, but Sutton have won 4 on the bounce, and they're sort of amazing everybody really. But Colchester 3 games in hand on them, and only a point behind. So
I expect Colchester to stay up. Yeah. I do expect them to stay up. I think Forest Green are down, aren't they? They're down.
Yeah, Forest Green look like they're struggling a bit. Grimsby, I don't think Grimsby are safe, you know.
No, they're in it, aren't they? They are in the.
They're not picking point. They're not picking so many points up, are they, Grimsby?
No, they're not. They're not. I'm glad that Tranmere aren't getting mentioned. To be honest with you.
Well, Tranmere are clear. Tranmere are clear of trouble, aren't they? And you've got some interesting games coming up that are going to have a bearing on the top 7. Obviously, Walsall hoping to be top 7. Yeah. Newport, I think they drifted off a little bit. And then Wimbledon, of course. So some interesting ties there.
It is, yeah, but I don't think anyone's too bothered, to be honest. Being a Tranmere fan, it's just,
are the players on the beach now, you think?
Yes, I think they were on the beach after what seems to have happened was they beat Wrexham and then they booked the flights, so that was that. But after the Wrexham game, we could have done with kicking on because the league's quite tight, isn't it? So we could have been up there. And
it is. Well, I thought Doncaster had got no chance of getting near to it, but they've won 5 on the bounce, Doncaster. And
well, I think after the Wrexham game, I looked at our fixtures and I went, 7 games left, beat Wrexham. The players will be up for it. The fans will be up for it. We could win every single one of them because Bradford were struggling.
Yeah.
Colchester, as you say, down the bottom of the league. Then Crawley, obviously they're not a terrible team, and they've been doing really well, Crawley, this season. But we're at home, and we've been doing really well at home. We beat the top 3, so we could beat Crawley, and then Walsall at home. We've got good games at home that are winnable, but we just straight away we go and lose to Crawley after winning against Wrexham. So just back down to earth. What
is it about Crawley? Because I didn't think they were that good when we played them. Yeah. Were you impressed with them, were you?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I thought they were decent, to be fair. From the start of the game, they could have been 3-0 up inside the first 15 minutes because he scored 2 inside the opening 10 minutes. And then he put the ball in the back of the net for the 3rd goal in the 15th minute. And then, so they were just smashing us from the start, but it wasn't, that 3rd goal didn't count. I thought it should have done, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it didn't. We just started the game terribly, which isn't what you'd like, to be honest. It's back down to what I said before.
That's it. For Walsall, obviously, not on the beach as such yet. Isaac Hutchinson, he's our star man this year. 11 goals, 10 assists at the minute. Yeah. And but he's been off it the last couple of games, last 2 or 3 games. He's not quite been at it. Just want to see him get back to top form to get us into the playoffs and up and beyond, perhaps. But it's still going to be a tough one. I think we've got a chance of beating you then, by the sound of it.
Yeah, I've done. You have, yes. Every team's got a chance of beating Tranmere at the moment. It really wouldn't surprise me if you do it, to be honest with you. I'm just looking at the league now because I drew it up yesterday, and you're only 3 points off Crawley, aren't you?
Yeah. And Crawley have got some tough matches. Crawley have got some tough games. I think I'll just get it up so I don't sort of get it wrong again.
And
we were talking about this the other day about Crawley. They are in the pound seats, but they're away to Mansfield. Then on Saturday, away to Wrexham the following Tuesday. Then they're at home to Colchester, who we know are picking up points. Then they're at home to Barrow. And then they're away to Sutton before they go to Grimsby. They're at home to Grimsby, last match of the season. So if they're still 7th after they've played all of them, blooming heck, they deserve to be in the playoffs. Don't they?
Sorry, I lost you for a second there because my Wi-Fi went off. But I got what you were saying. Yes, and I'd just like to ask you, because of the win on Saturday against Salford. Sorry, Monday, Easter Monday.
Yeah,
you weren't doing too well before that, was you? Because that 4 games and then you didn't win any of them. So
yeah, we'd sort of gone off the boil really. One player that's got injured, Tom Knowles. He plays right wing back for us, and he is the most frustrating player you could imagine. But he gets us up the pitch. He gets us up the pitch really good, and he's been injured, and adjusting to him not being there has sort of affected us really. That all happened in the Forest Green game. We went to Forest Green, 5 wins on the bounce, expecting to win. Referee, as you know what refs like in League 2.
Yes.
Ref was a bit of a clown. Didn't blow for anything, and then started going crazy. He gave them a penalty when they were just 1 up, and it's not nowhere near a penalty. Our keeper punched the ball clear sideways, and the player clattered into him, and he gave a penalty.
Yeah, the referee in this division is terrible, isn't it? I mean, obviously referees get a lot of stick, and there's always a story about referees getting abuse and all, which I'm not saying it's great because it's obviously not. But when you look at some of the mistakes, it's hard for fans not to get annoyed, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
So
I think being a ref is a tough job because everybody's trying to play you up, aren't they? Effectively.
Yeah.
And I've got a comment in here from Ozzy. Aussie 87 is saying we won't beat Tranmere. We were absolutely garbage on Monday.
Yes, I saw the comments from the Walsall fans after that game on Monday, and they were saying that you were lucky, you know. The rest of us,
we were very lucky. I don't know whether you've seen my match day vlog, but it was like we've thrown away our chances of making playoffs, and then Mo Fall had a couple of chances he missed. And then into injury time, he gets the ball on the left from a long ball. Gets the ball on the left. The defender's fronting up against him, and he sort of cuts past the defender, and then just fires near post. It goes through the keeper for us to win it. Absolutely. You watch the video back. Anybody that hasn't watched the video, watch the match day vlog. It's a super goal, and my reaction, I just couldn't believe. Because we were at a point where we thought we'd messed up playoffs, and then the goal just sort of put us right back into the contention again. And but we've got 2 tough games. I think away to yourselves is a tough one, and then we're at high-flying Doncaster, who've just won 5 on the bounce. So I think the game will be on Saturday.
I think the Doncaster game will be tough, but if you turn up at Prenton Park, you should win, to be honest.
Well, if we get 3 points at your place, and then maybe, nothing or a point at Doncaster, then we're well placed then, because we've got 3 home games, and then we go to Wimbledon away, last match of the season.
Yeah, and drawing against the teams that are doing well away isn't too bad, really, is it?
Yeah, but Doncaster, if Doncaster win all their games, they'll get 73 points and they'll just sneak in, I think.
Yeah.
But they've got some tough games. But Walsall just need to slow them down on Tuesday. If they don't beat Walsall on Tuesday, then that's them out the race pretty much, I think.
But touching on Mofal, apparently there was a bit of booing when he came on the pitch.
That's a funny one. That was mentioned on my fan reaction. Phil talked about that. They weren't booing Mofal. We've had the same before. They weren't booing Mofal. They were booing because they hadn't brought Danny Johnson on. Now, Danny Johnson last season scored 15 goals in 30 games just before Christmas. And then Mansfield pulled him back and wouldn't let us buy him. So when he signed for us in the close season, it was like brilliant. Danny Johnson's back, and they produced some T-shirts with Danny Johnson is a red on the T-shirts in the club shop. He played the first couple of games in the season and was doing okay, and then the manager just took him out of the team, and he's not played him. He's just not played him. And it's just madness. I understand that he wants to play a high press, and Danny Johnson is not your perfect man for that. But he's a goal scorer. Like, in the later part of the game, you need a goal. He brought him on 10 minutes to go against MK Dons when we were 4-0 down. That's like taking the mick, isn't it?
No, it is, yeah. It is. And when
he brought him on on Monday with 5 minutes to go. And it's like he's taking the mick out of him, really. I just don't get it.
When you're aiming for the playoffs, you've got to start your goal scorers, haven't you? You've got to find a way of including them, haven't you, really?
Well, you have. The thing is, I can understand if he's not starting him. But, I mean, last half an hour, that's you want to be having him there. You
do. Because you've got to put the results before your own style of play in a way, haven't you? Obviously, it worked out this time, but if you've got a goal scorer on the bench and you don't go on to win the game, then the pressure's on, then, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, we've got against Salford on Monday. Salford were good, by the way. I thought they were a good team. the Walsall fans, like it was 1-1, about 70 odd minutes gone or whatever, and the Walsall fans were singing "DJ is a red, Danny Johnson is a red," obviously wanting him to come on as a sub, and so he brings on Mo Fall. So that was the booing was because they didn't bring on Danny Johnson.
Yeah. So like the manager's trying to win an argument and just sort of go what he believes in, especially if the fans are chanting for a player and then he doesn't get brought on. Like, so he's trying to put himself
I said on my match day vlog, the more they shout for him, the less the less likely he's going to come on.
Yeah. Well, so what are you forcing the manager then? Fans
Matt Sadler is a former player for us. He's a former player. He's been part of the coaching setup for probably about the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Got another couple of comments from Ozzy. We have a great record against Doncaster. We always win up there. Famous last words. Well, last season we won 2-0 there last season, and Danny Johnson scored. And then we've got another comment from Ozzy. Sadler is an absolute clown. The squad we have should breeze the top 6 this season. The only thing holding us back is a Sunday League manager that is Matt Sadler.
And would you agree with that?
I think it's a little bit harsh, but I think we have got a better squad, and I think with the squad we've got, we should be in the top 7.
You've got a very experienced assistant manager as well, haven't you? Because when I was looking through it, you won promotion at Aldershot.
Yeah, Gary Warwick. Warwick, helped take Cambridge up. It's always a difficult one, Ethan, isn't it? When you've got an experienced assistant and a young coach, a young manager, how much do they listen to them? How much influence do they have?
Because when you're next to an experienced man, they've done it all before, haven't they?
Yeah. And it's like Matt Sadler's going to be saying, well, I'm the manager, I make the decisions. And Gary Warwick's going like, well, he's your best striker. You need to get him on. And it's like, no, he's not working hard enough.
Yeah. I did find that a little bit interesting because especially when you look at his past record, Waddick's, he has done it before, hasn't he? So he'll back himself. It's not like he needs to learn anything, really.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah.
The thing is, I think Matt Sadler, I might get grief for this. Matt Sadler, at times, has been very good, and he's made some very good decisions. But he's got a lot to learn, and I think he needs to listen to his assistant more, I think.
Maybe the fans.
And the fans, are the fans ever right? Are the fans ever right? Edward Atkins has added our away form is going to cost us. We need to get 4 points from the next 2 games. That would be nice. Challenge Ant, another goal from set piece, always dangerous. You've got 20 goals from corners this season, which is from set pieces. And to play Josh Gordon over Danny Johnson is absolutely criminal.
Yeah.
Tranmere is now given for us. This is going to be a tough match this weekend, says the abandoned hunter.
I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be.
Sometimes when the pressure's off, as it is for Tranmere, you can play your best football.
Well, we've not shown that so far, so...
You're setting this up perfectly for a big win, aren't you? For Tranmere, that's it.
Well, what I'd say is, the last time that we spoke for the previous game, I was really excited about Tranmere and thought that we were going to smash it and thought that there was no way that you were going to beat us. And then you go and beat us, don't you? Now this time, I'm just sort of talking to you and you're going to smash us. So anything could happen.
Well, we're doing well from set pieces. Goals from open play are not so great. It's one of them. I'd be happy with a point, to be honest. I'd be happy with a point. But given that we've got Doncaster to follow you, and they're on such good form, 3 points would be a real big bonus.
I don't think you should be happy with the points, is what I'd say to that.
You think we should go?
Because if yeah, if Colchester can come to Tranmere and get a draw, then if Walsall are aiming for the playoffs, then shouldn't just be getting a point. You just should be going for it.
Yeah, well, that's
what
my mate Lee said that. He said, like, we're where we are this season. You've got to just go for it. You got to just go for the points, haven't you?
Yeah, you have to, because you've been in the league for 5 years now, haven't you? Was that, and so you're wanting to get out of it now, really?
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah,
we've we had 3 poor seasons before we went down, so we have been struggling for like 8 years, and this is the best season we've had for 8 years, effectively.
You know, because, because the squad's so good now. Obviously, we had the fan. I forgot your name. Sorry. So we had the fan saying there before that the team's really, really good now. Should be in the top 6. Would you be getting rid of Salah then at the end of the season if you don't get promoted this time around?
I think that's a tough one. I think a lot would want to get rid of him now.
Yeah.
But I think if he gets us promoted, then he keeps the job.
Yeah.
I think
if he gets
promoted, he has to keep his job.
Yeah.
Getting into the playoffs, can we do any good if we get in the playoffs?
But do you feel confident of getting in the playoffs as manager?
I don't know. It's one of them, isn't it?
On the fence.
Yeah, I think you never know with Walsall. We could go on a winning run again and storm into the playoffs. I hope we do. It would be nice to get back into League One, even though League One has become a sort of a bit of a like the Championship almost. There's some big teams in there and a lot of money being spent.
Yeah. Obviously,
so, challenges.
Derby up there, but I think that they might go up.
Derby are going up, aren't they? Ipswich going up.
Portsmouth top league.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of clubs in League One. A lot of big clubs in League One, sorry.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you've obviously got Port Vale struggling this season, so they might go down. I don't know. And
yeah.
It's a league full of big clubs. But I'd just like to ask you, you said before that there's a lot of goals from set pieces.
Yeah.
Is that of Jamil Matt and his height?
Well, Jamil Matt's got 5 now. And Mane Adebayoga is a player that we got on loan from Norwich. He scored 3 in 11 from centre half. Mo Fall has got 3 in 14. So there's some height there. So they're spreading it around the team. Freddie Draper is still second highest goal scorer, and he left in January. So and then we've had a lot of injuries. Osh McInty, he was doing well from midfield, 5 goals, 4 assists, but he'd been out for the season. But he's on his way back. But I don't think he might be fit for the playoffs if we make the playoffs. So, and the amount of centre half injuries we've had this season has been crazy.
It should be an interesting end to the season for you lot.
Well, it's nice, as you know, it's nice to be involved in the shake-up at the end of the season, isn't it?
It is.
Nice to be involved in the shake-up. Right then, we'll leave it there. I know you got another interview to do, haven't you?
Yeah, talking to Scott Davis, the old Tranmere keeper, who won 2 promotions.
The joy and the pain. Well, he's hoping for more joy for Tranmere next season.
I've got you on the left and me on the right, so the joy and the pain. Yeah, makes sense.
That's it. Well, we had the joy and the pain. On Friday, we got beat by MK Dons 5-0 and then won on Monday. So that's nice one. Cheers, Ethan. Great talk to you, as always.
It's good. But that's the pain and the joy, isn't it?